Sure.
Because like whether or not we were allowed to pick our own team's helmets and then stuff like that. So I won't go into too much more, but.
Well, I was going to say, you lucked into supporting a team that has arguably one of, if not one of the best, I would say one of the most timeless helmets of all time.
Yes.
Whereas Marcus's team, the Chiefs, has an equally timeless helmet, but I would say a very basic design.
Right. The Chiefs are basic bitches, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But so all of it should come together, and we just we'll probably have 5 all together, and that'll be about it. And
right, a nice limited series. So, obviously the word is out on the street that the next series on the soon-to-be named network is going to be here probably as you're listening to this, unless you're at the $5 level and you get these shows early, that the dream has become a reality. It's been in the hopper now, since like May of last year?
I have the tweet bookmarked. But I don't know how I can use it, if you get my meaning. Because if you know, you know.
Okay.
Does that give you a clue there, Joe?
Yeah. So, what was I going to say in that regard? But no, I know it was after one of the LVAC show at the drive-in last year was where you guys kind of discussed it in person.
No, we discussed it at the Bash at the Brewery.
No. Okay, so Bash at the Brewery is where it was brought up again.
Okay,
but the very first time there was ever any in-person discussion was when we went to that. Remember when we went to the bar and I jokingly said, I'm like, oh, some people are going to get some food to go since I'm paying?
Oh, yes.
And then 2 people got food to go because I was paying?
That's right, they got a roadie steak.
Yeah. But it was at that time, that was the first time that you and Marcus were together.
Mm-hmm.
And there was discussion, obviously much more serious on your end, less so serious on his end.
Right.
But like that was the germ of the idea. And, obviously Tim of Final Wrestling Place worked much harder than I did in making this dream a reality.
Yes. And it was Marcus's dream too, but like we always say, nightmares are dreams. So.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, that is the first time I met Marcus, and the thing that I always remember is Marcus is a dear man. I really like him, and I'll never forget him sitting across from the table from me, and him kind of making eye contact occasionally, and just going, "Trouble in times, Todd." That's how our conversation started. So, I'll never forget it. Looking into those big, beautiful eyes that Marcus has.
I'm looking for this tweet that you're mentioning. I'm not able to find it. I don't know what's going on.
I'll find it. Don't you worry, and I'll send it to you via DM.
All right, good. You do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, how was your week? How was your adventure? Since we last recorded here?
I didn't do much. All I really did was I went down to the Lehigh Valley Comic Con with the definitive Colonel Sanders artist, Tom Durenick. He wanted some, traveling companions. So I was like, I'll go down. We went down. He had to be there early for, I forget what time it was that we had to be there, 10 o'clock maybe. So we went down. He set up his table. I helped him. I went and I walked the con floor. It's about the size of the Scranton Con.
Okay.
So that was, I saw everything I needed to see. And then I came back. I talked to his table. A couple of customers from the shop were at the show. So I was talking to them, people I knew for a long time. And we ended up, he sold some stuff and, I didn't end up picking anything up. I was trying to, I was trying to push wrestling dolls in the doll chat. I found a few, but nobody bit. So, I didn't find anything that I really wanted because everything was a bit overpriced for my taste that I was looking for. I found 3 or 4 books that I would have bought if somebody didn't have double the price at half the grade I could get on eBay, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So that's all I really did. And they gave them free $15 food voucher for the food truck. And since Tom's a food and or water camel at a con, he's like, here, you take this. So I got to eat free, so I was happy.
Did they have any good food trucks there?
They just had one food truck, but they had some decent food. So,
did you, by any chance, happen to see in your travels there? And again, I know you said it was only as big as the Scranton Con. Did you see world famous Ultramantis Black there?
No, I didn't. Was he there?
He certainly was there. He was handing out flyers for the August 27th show.
Okay, then he must. I'll guarantee you, he probably didn't pay to come in.
Thank you.
So,
love you.
Thank you and love you too.
I'm getting ice cream delivered while recording.
Oh, geez, that's nice. So I'm guessing he didn't pay to come in. So,
that sounds like him.
So he was probably outside, and I did not go outside other than to eat, and he was probably out of flyers by 1:00.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, he was out of flyers by way earlier than that. He, because he had texted me. Because after we did the show last week, I was coordinating with the LVAC boys of like, hey, this is right in the area. You should send someone down there to flyer. And like this one was going to Music Fest, which is like ongoing the entire month. Another one was going somewhere else. So the onus of going to the Lehigh Comic-Con fell on Mantis. And the hell is he one of these people who deletes his texts? I swear I have texts in here from him. Oh, there they are. Okay. So he was there. He got there at noon, and he texted me at 20 after and said, I'm all out of flyers. I brought 100. Them nerds were all too eager to take them. Friendly, too. Who knew?
Oh.
I told him he should have stopped into the con to go look for some MASH memorabilia.
Oh, they think they had Jamie Farr was there selling stuff.
Oh, so. He was?
Yeah, no. But
I think they're just keeping Jamie Farr local to the Midwest.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah. But no, it's obviously everyone's doing like the big push as this show comes out. We're like 8 days away from the big event down at the Steel Stacks. I'm excited. And I think the venue holds like 900 people and they want to sell it out.
Right. I can imagine. Like I said, I wish I saw him there. I would have went over and said hi.
Right. I don't know if he was incognito or not.
Right. Remind me to talk to you about that when we're done recording.
Gotcha.
But,
okay. So as Todd sends this information to me.
Right. I DM'd
so it started. So just as a side note, it started as jerseys.
Right.
And then it transitioned to helmets.
Right. But that's the birth date of said idea.
Right. December 9th, 2020.
Look at that. Look at that. The greatest thing in podcast history was born. Or at least, conceived, if you will.
That's right. So what stupid me was I was looking for, because obviously you said if you know, right?
Right.
I overthought it, and I was looking for the secret Twitter account that doesn't get used anymore.
Oh, okay.
And I thought you pushed something to him at that. Being like, oh boy, like he gets a notification on that account. It's like somebody stepped on his grave.
Right. I think you told me he doesn't have the ability to get into that one anymore.
I don't know if he does or doesn't, but.
Right. I mean, if he did, he'd probably use it, right?
Listen, no. I think that's just a dead account just in case, like, the other thing goes away forever,
Right. Okay. I get you.
Yeah.
So that's all well and good. We're ready.
Yep.
The ship's ready. I have questions for you as you eat your ice cream.
All right, go ahead.
So how did you get to New York?
I drove into New York.
Like tunnel?
Yes.
Oh, you animal, you.
Well, okay, so first of all, I'm not a coward.
Okay.
So obviously when we recorded last week, we're going over everything, throwing around the ideas. And then Wednesday, when I was watching AEW, I put it on pause, and April and I were trying to figure out on how to do that. And like you had emailed me the stuff on Thursday, right?
Right.
April and I had already gone over all of that like Wednesday night,
Sorry,
listen. Hey, listen, a day late and $1 short, no big deal, right?
Right. I was like, as long as I get to him before Friday, because I had come back on Tuesday, did the podcast, and Wednesday that's when the trip caught up with me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll get this tonight, and I'll talk to people in the morning, and I'll send it off to them.
So our biggest problem was going on the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we mentioned before the bus would have been $120 a person.
Right.
And I went to the bus. So I went to the bus station on Wednesday afternoon before I went up to go get my comics. And the only thing that you save by getting your tickets there in person is that you save the $4 convenience fee for doing it online.
Oh, okay. That's got to be for the weekend, because I told you what.
Yes.
The three of us paid to go in during the week.
Oh, no, listen, I spoke to many people, and I told them what the bus price was to go into New York on the weekend, and they all plotzed, right?
Right.
So we're looking at the thing, and we're like, okay, well, like, here's where the ferry is running, and because it was the weekend, like, typically the ferry and the bus is for your Monday through Friday commuters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's literally a bus or a ferry leaving, like, every 15 minutes. On the weekend, it's like, from 7 in the morning till 7 at night, there's 5. So, like, your time constraints were a little bit, like, narrower, I guess.
Right.
So I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to be beholden to these very specific times of the weekend. And truth be told, and I could say this now in retrospecticus, that I hate driving in Jersey more than I hate driving in New York.
Well, I mean, we're talking Manhattan proper or New York the state?
Both.
Okay, because I would never. I said it before. I'd get out of the car and I'd kill somebody on Fifth Avenue.
Okay. So Wednesday night, we make the decision. We're like, we're just going to drive in. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking at a map, and I'm looking to see where our because we were going there to do like the Pokemon in person, whatever. Right.
Right. And
I'll say it was fun. It was a nice community thing. But I was expecting a little bit more for the in-person meetup, but it was still cool. My kid liked it. He had a good time, and that's who this was all for, right?
Right.
So where the Pokemon thing was in Brooklyn off of Pier 17.
Okay.
Okay. So Pier 17 is like this big built-up complex where they have rooftop concerts every weekend, right? Like Elvis Costello had just played there the night before. Okay. So it's a very nice area, very cleaned up. So I'm like, okay, well, we need to find somewhere to park. And this will come back around, and I'll get more into it on At Odds this week. But I find this website, this app called Spot Hero.
Right.
Where you put your location in, and it's going to give you all the little different locations near that area of where the parking garages are. You put the date and the time in. Like, obviously, you could do real time, and it'll tell you how many spots approximately are available in that garage. You do like an advanced schedule of it, and you're saying, okay, well, if you're going to be in between this time and this time, you could order it through us at this price, and you have it for X amount of time. Perfect. So I do the one for Brooklyn. You get the gimmick on your app. You have your QR code. You pull in. I'm like, okay, I think we're going to approximately get there for like 10. So, because we left super early, I go 10, and I'm going to do 10 to 6, right? $30. Okay. $1.75 convenience fee. Okay. I pay it. I have the QR code on my phone. I pull up into the thing. I said, I ordered it off the gimmick. I go, let me scan it. Scanned it. We're done. Perfect, right?
Okay, now I have a question for you before we go any further. You're going to Brooklyn. You parked in Brooklyn?
Parked in Brooklyn. Driving into Brooklyn was going through the tunnel, no problem. Driving into Brooklyn, piece of cake. So we get there, we do everything with the Pokemon stuff. We're angling, like we have no idea. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna do a big group picture of everyone that came at like 1. Then they moved it back to 1:30. My kid's like, I don't want to do the group picture. I want to go into the city. Like we're like, oh, we can go do this and we can go do this and we can go do this. And he wanted to go to the Nintendo store. Okay.
Now, where's the Nintendo store? Is in proper New York?
Nintendo store is in Rockefeller Plaza, like in New York, the city proper. Okay.
Okay. So did you leave the car in Brooklyn?
No.
Okay.
Because so my thought was, I'm like, okay, we're here. Things went great. Let's roll the dice. Let's push our limits. Let's see if we can get a bus. Let's see if we can take the subway. Let's see if we can do something while we're here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So leading up to us going, we made the decision Wednesday night that we're going to drive in. April tells her sister. She mentions it to the neighbors. Hey, we're going to New York. We're driving in. Oh, my God. You're going to get killed. Don't go on the subway. They push people in the front of the subway and murder them. Oh, my God. I can't believe you're going into the city, right? Oh, my God. So, like, every single person that my wife has talked to in regards to going into the city has hyped it up that if we go on the subway or into the city, we will all be murdered, right?
You should have called me.
Okay, and what?
And I would have told her I did. All right, I did New York in New York proper, downtown, on the subway over to Brooklyn to see a concert. Walked around Brooklyn, got back on the subway, went back. It's a piece of cake. As my one friend, as Scott said once, like about getting on the subway, it's not the Warriors, the movie anymore.
Mm-mm.
You know,
hasn't been that way for like 30 years.
Exactly. And I will say this. I wouldn't stand near the edge of the platform while the train is coming in. But I would stay in the middle, and if somebody grabbed me, I'd fight like hell.
Right.
But I don't expect it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know your wife, but I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. Just hand sanitizer after you get off the subway and you'll be good.
So I look and I see from where we are. So I go, okay, Rockefeller Plaza is where the Nintendo store is. That's a nice, good, centralized hub of where everything is, where we need to go, right? Let me do the spot hero gimmick, right? Do a parking lot, right? Do another parking garage. This time, because it's in the city, it's $36. Okay.
Right, yes.
So I do the gimmick. I see from where we are, from one garage to the other, is a 14-minute drive on the FDR. I go, we're going. Let's hop on the FDR. You're driving into the city. You got to drive a little aggressive. You gotta have a little heads up on your GPS to know that you're going to be making a left, and a right. So you're like, okay, I need to be on the left-hand side. I need to be on the left-hand side. And then I immediately need to get over on the right-hand side. And immediately get over the right-hand side. Sometimes it's going across 3 lanes. Sometimes it's going across 6 lanes, right?
Yep. Got to have your head on a swivel.
Got to have your head on a swivel. Got to have a good navigator. I didn't have a good navigator.
Well, you got ice cream, so it's okay.
Right. So we get there, no problem. Now we get there, and right where the parking garage is, like we walk out of the parking garage and it was literally a left, and the Nintendo store was right there on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have planned it any better. Okay. So we're just walking around New York. We're like, let's see what we can do. Let's go and check things out. Now, where the problem comes in is with our GPS on our phone, we were trying to do like walking direction to get to places. But the problem is the walking directions were like, you are in the middle of the street and it's trying to figure out where you're going from the middle of the street as opposed to, like, say, the sidewalk, right?
So you're using your phone.
Using my phone as my walking directions. Like, I'm like, we're here. We want to go here. Okay, it says we have to go, wherever. And as we're following where the phone is going, the phone is just taking us all over the place. The GPS on the phone. So instead what we do is...
What video app are you using?
I use listen, I'm an old man. I still use MapQuest.
There's a Google map. Use that one.
Okay. So my wife's using Google Maps on her phone. It's doing the same thing, right?
Okay.
So what I end up just doing is, after like the third time of it, just like walking around, like we're all turned around. We have no idea where we're going. We look like the dumbest tourists in the world. I just open it up and I'm just looking at the actual physical map on my phone, and it shows us where we are. And then I just move the map around, and it shows you all the locations that you want to go to. So instead of putting the directions in, I'm just like, okay, we're here. We need to go there. We just need to walk this way. Or like,
Yep.
Go 2 blocks and make a left. We're not putting directions in. I'm looking at a physical map, and I see where this thing is. I could zoom in, see the exact direction. I go, okay, that's at the corner of 48th and Avenue of the Americas. We could just walk there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So again, we were there for my kid. You know, we went to like a souvenir shop, like a your normal New York whatever shop, so my wife can get a magnet for the fridge. Went to the Nintendo store. My kid loved it. Like it was just everything that he could have imagined it would have been. We went into FAO Schwartz, which sucks.
Right now, anyway.
Huh?
I heard it like sucks now. You know.
Yeah, it sucks now. There's no like name brand toys in there. It's all just like generic toys.
Right.
At high-end prices, except at the top. I didn't want to take pictures to send this stuff out. They have like a make your own Freddy Funko Pop.
Okay.
Do you know who Freddy Funko is?
Oh, I thought you meant it was a Freddy like with the flaps out Freddy Funko.
No. Freddy Funko is like the mascot of Funko.
Yeah.
Where you can go there and build your own Freddy Funko. And like it's an FAO Schwartz exclusive. And I didn't want to put that information out publicly because I know people are currently going through a Funko purge.
Yes, they have a problem.
They also have a problem. So I didn't want to put that out there publicly. So I'm like, okay, if I was into Funkos, that would be cool.
Right.
And they had like tons and tons of Funkos, and I'm sure like if I knew what was the in things that were hot or worth money, I could have been just ripping through stuff to find like whatever. But I'm like, I don't care. It's Funkos. Who cares?
Did you hit Midtown at all, Comics?
Yeah. So we were like in Times Square proper because we went to the M&M store. My kid wanted to go to the M&M store.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wanted to spend $20 on a giant bag of peanut butter and cookie dough M&Ms mixed.
Ooh, no, wait. Are they just separate M&Ms mixed in one bag, or are they peanut butter and cookie dough in one M&M?
It's 2 separate M&Ms mixed in one bag.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's an opportunity. I thought he was getting something special.
Nah, listen, if they made it, if you could have did it, he would have got it, you know?
Gotcha.
So we did that, and then we were just walking around like Midtown a little bit, and we went to your pizza place.
Yep. And I get the text, and I was coming back from Lehigh Valley Comic Con, and we were at one of the Hickory Run rest stop, and I was getting no signal other than my text. The text came in, but you're like, is this the place? And whatever you sent me, it's this little thing with all these like colors around it in a circle, and I'm like, that kind of looks like it. I have to blow it up and look at it. I'm like, I don't know what he's using. And then I was like, let me make sure, because I know where it is, and I don't know what the sign looks like off the top of my head, and I couldn't find it because I wasn't getting a signal for the internet. And then I was like, Tom, give me your phone. I was like, yeah, that's the place. So,
well, so that's the thing. I didn't take a picture of it outside, but the John's Pizza was a Pokestop. So I'm like, I could like activate the Pokestop, take a picture of do a screenshot of the Pokestop, and like it shows you in a little circle what the outside of the building looks like, right?
Okay, that's why it looks so ridiculous. All right.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon.
So you had dinner there?
Yeah, we had dinner there. The pizza was good.
Oh,
Asa actually ate a slice and didn't complain.
So wait a minute, is that good or bad?
Yes, that's good.
And how did you like it? You just thought it was good?
I liked it. It was good.
You got the Hawaiian, right?
No. Oh my God. What are you? I just got a regular, like a plain.
Right. The Hawaiian's fantastic.
No, I don't go in for that sort of shit.
Right. Next time we go into New York, me and you, we're getting a Hawaiian.
Mm-hmm. Well, next time I'll drive.
All right.
But that being said, so then we got back to the parking garage. We had to wait a little bit because they do like a self-checkout gimmick with it, which again, tune into Ad Odds this week for more information on how that all went down.
I saw a tweet.
So then we made it home, like driving out of the city, no big deal. Like, I don't know. It's like, I get, like, I was a little trepidatious, but I'm like, Ace ain't gonna, like, and we had to take my piece of shit car. My wife's like, I'm not driving. I'm not taking my good car into the city. You're driving. We're taking your piece of shit car. I'm like, all right.
Right. That's right. Because after you got murdered and killed and pushed on the subway, they were going to carjack you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then I
but
learned recently, one of the guys out in AIW for Root Beer Wrestling, he got his car stolen. I guess there's a TikTok thing where it's like a certain model of Kia and a certain model of Hyundai that
right.
you could steal with like just like the end of a USB.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and it's like a whole TikTok thing, and he got his car stolen this past Saturday when they did wrestling at the street fair, you know?
Yeah,
And he
but
just happened to have one of the TikTok theft cars.
oh, good. That's one of the selling points for Kia.
Hmm.
If you ever get locked out, you could just use a USB port to get home.
Exactly.
But
But
like
all
you
in all,
said,
the trip was good. My kid liked like the Brooklyn area stuff more than the in the city stuff.
mhm.
So like I'm like, okay, well we could do that again. Like if he wants to go do the Pokemon thing again, it's like a 2-hour drive, like 2 hours 7 minutes with traffic, you know.
Right now, when you were in Brooklyn, were you anywhere near the Barclay Center that you know of?
I don't think so.
Okay, you weren't near the Target over there.
No.
And did you do any Dolph stops on the way home?
You know, F it. No, come on, get out of here.
What?
No, no doll safari. And we just went home.
Right.
So it says, according to a map, which I'm looking at here, it says it's about 4 miles from where we were,
Okay.
to the Barclay Center is about 4 miles.
Okay. Because like I said, it's really not that hard. You know how you were using like your park and ride stuff. Josh was using an app for the subway, and it's like easy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But you're willing to drive, you do it. You do you. Like I said, I have a 4-door pickup truck. That's not easy to put in those little tight parking garages in New York.
Exactly.
So.
And that was the other thing, because I have a little tiny baby car. My car when we got there was like right up front. Like we walked into the parking garage both places. It's like there's my car right there. It's like literally like right next to the exit. You know.
Right now, when you parked the car, you left the keys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they leave the windows open? Do you know?
No.
Because I don't know why, a lot of the parking garages in New York, when they're inside, they're like, they have to leave one window open for something. I don't know. So it's easier to steal or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
So I'm glad you had a good time, though.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun time. And then we got to figure out, because some comedian lady that my wife likes is doing a show in New York toward the end of November.
Do you know where?
At the Gramercy Theater. I don't know where that is in New York.
I don't know where that is either.
Right.
Is it that female comedian that Fred from Pog Van Dam likes?
No, this is an actual comedian who tells jokes.
Okay.
She's a British lady. Her name is Sarah Milliken. Does this name ring a bell to you?
No, it doesn't. Is it Sarah with an H or just A-R-A?
With an H.
All right, I'm going to look her up, see if I recognize her. But
yeah, she's a British lady, but she's doing like a U.S. tour. And I had to go sign up for her mailing list so I could find out when her tour dates were. And then she just announced the New York one this week.
Oh, I know who that is. Yep, I just looked her up.
Okay.
She does she's got a very interesting voice. She's got a high-pitched voice.
Gotcha. So my wife is gone this weekend to go to the shoe show for her new job.
Ah, cool.
And with her going to the shoe show, me and the boy are left to our own devices this weekend.
Uh-oh. Do you have a plan or?
No. And then it's just that once she's back from that, and then once we're done with the wrestling this weekend, we are going to figure out what the plan is for us going to see her comedian lady.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a veteran now, so you'll be fine.
I guess.
I'm proud of you, Joe.
I'm proud of me too.
You're a braver man than me.
Mm-hmm. I'm a braver man than everybody because I drove into New York like a big boy.
Yep.
And I lived to tell the tale. But yeah, that's it. That was my week. Just kind of everything leaning toward wrestling next weekend, and yeah, that's it.
Can't wait to hear how that goes.
Yeah, I'm sure the wrestling is going to go just fine. I got no worries, no problems. I have no financial stake in this, so, I can just kind of say like, oh, maybe do this or maybe do that, or, like, hey, I'm here to bounce ideas off if you have any, whatever.
You don't have any stake in it, even though they're using your monstrous visage on the DVDs?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I would demand a bigger cut of the fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. This was Longbox Heroes After Dark 405. And yeah, patreon.com/longboxheroes. Amazon affiliate link for any and all your purchases. Soon to be named network.com for all the shows. My episode of 5-Star Match Game wrestling trivia just came out this week. I won. Spoilers, everyone. Because I have that information rattling around in my empty head. And yeah, that's it. See everyone next week. Helmet Podcast is here.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.